What is up, Chosen Ones? It's your neighborhood teacher, leader, and healer, Big Matt with Chosen One Chats, back at you with another banger. Today, we're going to talk about how they're going to try to make you seem crazy for following your inner tuition. Yeah, they pay a lot of money on that tuition, I'll tell you what, but you get that kind of information for free from the Most High. And when you do, they're going to try all their might to make you think you're tripping. Now listen, let me tell you a little bit about the guy who discovered radio frequencies. So, basically, long story short, he was telling everybody about how he could send signals across the planet without having to actually be there. He could communicate with people in different states through these things called radio frequencies. And he said he knew how to tap into these things to actually be able to do something like that. Now, remember, this is the guy who initially thought of the thing that we all use today called the radio. And then it furthers on to things like phone calls, sending signals to the phone calls and stuff like that. Imagine coming up with an idea like that. Bruh, they gonna think you crazy, bruh. But lo and behold, now everybody uses it and it's a normal thing. But how do people come up with these things? It could only be through downloads from source. And it really, really sucks to say, but you know, it is what it is, because this man, because everyone thought he was tripping, was actually thrown into a loony bin. Are you telling me they really threw a genius into a loony bin? That's the crazy part. Me personally, I've been in the loony bin a few times, and I can tell you, there are some interesting characters in there. Sometimes I feel like their gifts are quite phenomenal. I really feel like not everybody, because there are some batshit crazy motherfuckers in there, but some of those people in there are sincerely gifted, without a doubt. Sometimes it could be kind of scary how tapped in they are. Example, one time I was talking with somebody who was giving an extremely knowledgeable vibe and confident as well. I told him, I made a remark. I was like, "You look like my Uncle CJ." Oh, wait. I didn't say CJ. I said, "You look like my uncle." I literally thought it was my uncle, but it was not. Because I saw my uncle not too long later, and it was not the same looking person. But I was in Arizona at the time, and I was like, "You look like my uncle." And then he goes, "Your Uncle Charlie?" I'm like, "Whoa, bro, hold up, what? How'd you just guess my uncle's name, bro?" So people be really tapped in, bro. They be really getting these downloads. And my face, like, I didn't even respond. I was just completely psyched out. Like, I was completely weirded out. I was completely like tripping balls, bro. And I had a bit of fear from that person. But he ended up being cool. He got released the next day. It was kind of funny. But later on, here goes another person who is really tapped in. This is another story. So I'm at this crystal shop with my ex, right? And I wasn't in there when he was doing this stuff, but basically I had left to go do a DoorDash order that was literally right across the street. I was letting my girl do her thing because, you know, she was into crystals and stuff. So I was like, hey, you finished shopping up here? Because, you know, she hasn't been there in a long time, and, you know, it was her favorite spot to go. And I was like, hey, I wanted to treat her, let her grab something before we headed back to Arizona. We were in San Diego. The crystal shop was in San Diego. I wanted her to grab something nice from her favorite shop before we headed back to Arizona. So I headed to DoorDash from right across the street, CVS. I don't know the name of the place, maybe Crystal Visions. I think that's the name. It's an OB. But the guy in there has long hair, right? I head out. I bounce out to go do DoorDash. I wasn't interested in anything. Pretty cool shop though. He had like little crystal bowls that make sounds and stuff. And that was pretty cool how the rubber thing makes the noise when you rub it on the crystal. But I bounce out of there, and then I'm like, all right, go ahead and, you know, finish shopping up. I'm literally gonna be shopping for a few items there, so take your time. It's literally walkable distance. While I'm in the CVS, he asked my girl, he says, oh, is he a Aries? I could tell. She was like, yeah, how do you know that? He was like, I could tell he's a fire sign. And then she was like, how did you know that? And then basically he goes, and then she's like kind of tripped out. And then he goes, I don't know what he did. I don't know exactly how it went down, but he ended up guessing not only hers, he's like, let me guess, you're a Cancer, right? She was Cancer. So he just guessed mine, and I was only in there for just a little bit. And then he went ahead and guessed hers, Cancer. And then there's someone else in there too, right? Random person, we don't know her. And then at that point, my girl and the other girl that was in there were like, what the heck, bro? How do you do that? And then he's like, watch this. And then he goes and guesses the other person that was in there too. And they were all, at that point, he just guessed 3 people's things, and he just met them. Like, I've never met this guy a day in my life. He just guessed all 3 of our signs, just like that. And from there, they were tripping balls. They're like, yo, how did you know that? And then he was like, something along the lines of, it's not like a thing. It's basically, you need to have, he's able to do it with people who aren't technically protected. Like he said, some people who are like, who do special things and, you know, get spiritually protected or whatever, he's not able to guess theirs. But supposedly we were exposed at the time and he was able to guess ours. But he said some people have extra layer of protection. My guess, walking around, maybe they wear certain, I don't know, tiger's eye, maybe do a spiritual protection ritual. I have no clue. But trippy as that can be, yo, quite honestly, this path is, you know, not for the faint of heart. But I will tell you that it gets real out here in these spiritual streets. And when you really get into the nitty-gritty of it, you're gonna have some people thinking you're crazy. And be like, why is he so into salt baths? Why is he so into grounding? Why is he so into meditating? Why is he so into doing this? Why is she so into doing that? And why are they so living with ease? Why are they not working like the rest of us? How are, like, they're just gonna think you're crazy, bro. Why are they spending all their money? Don't go spend all your money, chosen ones. I'm not telling you to do that, but I am telling you to think in abundance. But there's a fine line between the person who wins the lottery, who was broke before winning with the non-abundance mindset, and then he wins the lottery and then he loses all his money not too long later, versus the person who wins the lottery who has a abundance mindset. I'm not even gonna say lottery. I'm gonna say versus the person who has an abundance mindset and gets an inheritance, and he's able to be resourceful with that money and then make it turn into generational wealth. There's a fine difference between someone who had a scarcity mindset and then just stumbled upon winning a lottery ticket, and then all of a sudden didn't have the mindset before and ends up blowing it all because he didn't have the abundance mindset to even begin with. But that's all I'm saying. I want to say this though. That's confirmation. Anyways, I want you guys to know that you're not crazy. Before the breakthrough comes the breakdown, baby. So regardless, some people really do lose their stuff when they go down this path. But count it as a blessing, because that means the breakthrough is on the way. Because the breakdown always comes before the breakthrough. Don't you dare forget that. So if you really troubled with your mental and you don't know, you just get in so much, there's like so much chaos going around in your head, just know you're not alone. It happens to the chosen, and it happens to the ones who like are really indulging in the real deal holy field. And I want you to know they're gonna make you think you're crazy. And you know, I'm not saying everybody goes crazy before they have their breakthrough, but some things that may happen is you may have a whole bunch of literal, like visually, your five senses, physical plane, a whole bunch of stumbling blocks are going to try to deter you off your path. And your main goal, thing that you need to do is make sure that you do not let that change your emotional vibration frequency. I'm gonna say that again. Do not let anything that you see in this physical plane affect your emotional vibrational frequency, because your emotion is your biggest energy. It's a pretty big rat right there, I ain't gonna lie. Should I kill it, guys? I'm scared. Where is it? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm scared. I didn't know we had rats in here. Oh, there he goes. He's no longer in the dirt. He's no longer scaring me. Well, that's an example. No fear either. Get that fear out of your heart, boys and girls. But regardless, we're looking at it move. But think of this like, you gotta not let it affect you emotionally, and you gotta also not think so negatively and speak negative things over your life either, because it happens to the best of us though. No one's perfect, but you got to make sure that you protect yourself as in that aspect, and make sure, because although you may not have an actual mental breakdown, you will get a whole bunch. Some people do have actual mental breakdowns, but if you don't, you may have all these stumbling blocks thrown in your pathway. Like you're just trying to do something better with your life. You're trying to, make a difference in your life, And then I guarantee you there will be, no, I'm going to say this, expect stumbling blocks. Expect them. Because I am getting hit with stumbling blocks like crazy right now. But I keep I'm like, oh, you little sneaky little thing. Like, I see what's going on here. Because the more that you progress, you start to realize, you're like, look how everything is literally, as I'm like literally feeling like I'm about to have a breakthrough. Like I'm feeling very optimistic about my really near future. I always stay in the present. So remember that too. But when you're feeling really optimistic and you got this real beautiful joy and peace inside of your body, you literally, when you see the stumbling blocks, you kind of laugh at them. You're like, oh, I see what's going on, you sneaky little thing. And you're like, you kind of laugh at it. And then you don't let it get the best of you because you realize what's going on. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. It's your boy Big Matt with Chosen One Chats. I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.